Hello guys, Michaela here, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another speed build. Today I have a build that kind of prepares us for the new Horse Range expansion pack. I'm not gonna lie, I built this before we even knew this pack is going to come out, but I think it's the perfect opportunity to say that I knew it was coming. Definitely, I definitely knew it was coming when I was building this. I was actually inspired by a build by, I believe, Simmer Adelina, who did a similar kind of build, and I was really inspired to build in Henford-on-Bagley. So this is what I came up with. It's a huge generational home for, I want to say 7 Sims or 6 Sims. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna take a look at the info about the build because I have it somewhere, definitely. Okay, so it's a family for all 6 Sims. So this kind of extension is where the grandparents are staying, and then I have 3 bedrooms upstairs, which is where the parents are, and the 2 kids. And this here on the side is the greenhouse, which I think is pretty cool. I love the shape of this home. It's really unique, and I was inspired by like British countryside kind of mansions, and I really love how this turned out. I love the shape of the home. I love what I did. It's not my usual style. It's not something I would normally build, but I think it turned out pretty well. So I hope you're gonna like it too. So it's built on a 50 by 40, which is a huge lot considering I normally build on like 20s, like 30 by 20s at max. So this is a huge one for me personally. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, and it comes in at 131,021 simoleons. So it's pretty big. There is, you know, the main house, then we have the small greenhouse, and then I have plenty of space for gardening, so I kind of divided them into 4 sections. I'm not sure if I was thinking that it was going to be for different types of crops or for different seasons, but I think I made it for like different types of crops, so you can have herbs in one, then fruit, then vegetables, and then like flowers, so you can like kind of divide your crops into like different sections of the garden. There's also quite a bit pond in the middle of the lot, and then I also placed a couple of the animal stuff. So there is a like the shed for the cow. I think there is a chicken coop, and I also placed some like other items for like the kids to play. So there are some items outside for playing. There's also a spot to sit outside and, you know, the barbecue. Yeah, there's plenty because the lot is huge and the house is not that big for the lot. So yeah, I had a lot of space to fill. So there is a lot of landscaping, there is a lot of space for gardening, and there is a lot of other like gardening stuff. So I went all out with kind of like the farm theme, and I really loved the result. As I said, it's not really the style that I would normally go for, but it was a lot of fun working on this. I also finally got to use this absolutely gorgeous fence that came with high school years. It's actually in, I believe, either debug or the live edit menu, but it's so pretty. I love the detailing on it, like these like branches. It's beautiful. So I was really excited that I was finally able to use it here, and I kind of, that's where you can see that I divided those sections for like the different crops as well. And I really loved the result of this. I was struggling a little bit with laying out the lot because I didn't really know what to do with it, but I think it turned out pretty nice in the end because I initially did the pond behind the house, but then I decided to move it to kind of like the middle of the house to make it like the centerpiece of it, and I really like that. We have also animals, so your Sims can, you know, take care of them, and yeah, it's fun. So I'm recording this video actually because I'm currently on vacation in Croatia. So if we got any update about The Sims, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And I'm going to talk about it when I get home towards the end of July, because that's the earliest I'll be able to record a voiceover. Because right now I'm just not able to, because I'm enjoying the sun and enjoying the fun abroad, and it's really fun. So I hope you're having a great summer as well. I hope you at least get a few days to enjoy the nice weather. If you are in the northern hemisphere, that is, of course, because in the southern hemisphere it's winter. So I guess it's probably not that nice in there at the moment. But if you are in the northern hemisphere, I hope you get to enjoy the summer a little bit, that you go out and maybe for a swim somewhere, or for ice cream or something like that, so that you are enjoying and that you don't have to work all the time, because it's important to rest and important to take breaks and take a vacation if you have one, because we only live once, and burnout is a bitch. So just don't overdo it, and take vacations if you have them. And that was a bit philosophical. Anyway, we started working on the landscaping. I also used the tool mod to place some kind of trees outside of the lot, because this area of Henford-on-Bagley is pretty empty when it comes to like trees and other foliage. So I decided to use the tool mod to kind of make it a bit fuller, especially for like the purposes of the thumbnail, things like that. So yeah, I kind of cheated a little bit, but I think it's okay. Obviously you won't have the trees in the game because they are off the lot, but it was mostly for me for the screenshots, because I just liked the way it looked. I think it looked better. It looked more realistic, I feel like. So yeah, that's what I decided to go for. I also used plenty of landscaping, especially from Cottage Living, these like grasses, to make it look like it's really like an old farm that's been here for a while. So that's why the landscaping is like very lush and big and kind of grand, to make it look like it's been a while since it's been maybe planted or things like that. I thought that the family that kind of now owns the ranch, or like this farm, they're the kid of the grandparents that live here. They inherited the farm, they care of it, so they are maybe slowly renovating the house. So the interior is not fully modern, but I did add touches of like more of a modern style here and there. So it's not modern full on, but it's like more like a modern traditional style. So it has like more of a contemporary touches of this like traditional farm style. So now we are working on the pond. I'm just adding plenty of landscaping. I went a bit crazy on like flowers and plants, because I really wanted to make it look very lush and like it's been there for a while, and I really love that. I used like this bush from Werewolves that I've been loving recently. I really like the way it looks. It really, like, it's a darker green. It has like a nicely colored flowers on it, like this like light purple, a violet color, and I really love the result. I really love how the landscaping turned out. Again, something a bit out of my comfort zone, because I don't really use this landscaping, but I had a lot of fun. Yeah, I also used this debug car from that came with the Cottage Living pack to kind of place it. Maybe they sort of use it, because we don't really have functional cars in The Sims. So I placed some clutter in the hood, or like in the trunk of the car, to make it look like they're actually using it. Maybe they use it to go to the market. And yeah, I thought it was like a nice realistic touch, because if you have a farm, you probably have a car to transport the produce that you generate to the city. So here I am placing some of the items that are for the kids. So I placed these trees from the Growing Together pack that you can build the treehouse on. I also placed the monkey bars and a swing, and the other toy that I forgot how it's called, a slide. I also placed this laundry hanging thing and laundry basket, not basket, yeah, I'm sorry, English is just not working for me recently, so I forget words very often. I also already planted some of the crops on the inside here, and also on the outdoor kind of like gardening areas. So I think it does kind of transfer to your build if you download it from the gallery. I could be wrong, but I think it might. So you'll have everything you need already placed on in those planners, which I thought was a nice touch. Yeah, so here in like this back room of the greenhouse, I made sort of like a juice fizzing area. So because there is quite a bit of fruits growing around the lot, I decided to place the the juice fizzing station so that you can make some juice with your Sims. I think in the new expansion pack we are also getting like nectar making, so like wineries and things, so which I think is really cool. I think I'm gonna use that with like toast and maybe like with my wedding stories, which is like the Mediterranean world. I think that would be perfect to make like a winery happen, so I might do that in the future. I'll have to like see how it works, and yeah, when the pack comes out in a little while actually. It's like, now that I'm recording this, it's like 10 days away, the new pack, and yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on it. So here we are on the living room. It's a bit of a weird shape because that's just how the layout of the home worked out. So there is a small living room. I used the couch from Growing Together, and here at the back I'm using a console table from the Cottage living pack, and I'm putting some color on it. This was also built right when the Book Nook kit was like happening, so I think I ended up changing the bookcases for the ones that came with Book Nook instead of these from Growing Together, because I felt like the books in here in these bookcases are way too colorful, because I was going for more of like the toned down like brown earthy color palette, and I just didn't like the way the books looked. So when we got the Book Nook kit, it was perfect. So I think I ended up changing them off camera afterwards, and I think I'm already using them in some of the bedrooms later on, because I never very rarely finish a build in one sitting, and I usually it takes me a while, so sometimes even maybe like a couple of weeks, because I get, especially with big builds like this one, it sometimes takes me a lot of time to finish them because I get bored of them pretty quickly. So that's why sometimes I take like a week break and I build something small in between to kind of gather energy to finish it, I guess, if that's the right word to use. And yeah, so that's what I did here. So that's why I was able to, in the end, place the Book Nook bookcases, because I kind of took a break from this one. So the color schemes I talked about. So at first I was going for a very like earthy tones, but then I ended up going like adding hints of blue here and there, because that kind of corresponds with the landscaping that I did outside. I have these like pink and purple colors, the flowers, not colors, and yeah, so that's kind of what I took inside a little bit. So there is here we have orange chairs, but some of the stuff around the house are bit blue. So we have the stove here, some decorations on the couch, the chair, the place for a pet. So there is like blue overall. I also did something very different in the kitchen, because I'm not sure how it works in like in other parts of the world, but in here people often have their washing machines in the kitchen. So for example, my grandparents, they have quite a small kitchen, and they still have their washing machine in it because they just don't have the space anywhere else. My grandma, just, yeah, that's how they have it. So that's what I did in here. So you have both the washing machine and the dryer in the kitchen, in this like detached area from the main kitchen area, which is where I placed a microwave, a coffee maker, and I also placed a high like console table here in the middle to make it look like a bar. I believe I kept this one from the Greenhouse Haven kit. And I initially put it on a diagonal, but I think I ended up putting it normally, like not on a diagonal in the end, because I just didn't like the way this looks, and I felt like it was blocking the entrance into the dining space a little bit. So this is obviously not functional, but I felt like it was a really nice detail for the home. Here I am just adding some clutter to the kitchen. I went really like moderately on that, so I really tried to keep the clutter to an amount that looked realistic, but it looked like lived in. I did not want to overdo it. That's kind of my philosophy with clutter. I don't want to overdo it, but I want to make it look lived in, and I think I've been doing a good job with that. Yeah, so I'm just adding some finishing touches here and there, and we are going to move on to the next room pretty soon. Just adding my cutting boards because, I mean, yeah, we all have cutting boards in our kitchens, like, don't we? So yeah, that's what I went with. I'm just adding some more clutter, and I think we're going to move on to the bedroom of the grandparents, I want to say. I've been having a lot of fun building lately. It's been, for me, it's such a fun activity, and yeah, it's just something that really helps me kind of escape the real world. And I'm extremely grateful for all of your support and the fact that I'm now monetized. It's just such a great achievement for me after quite a long time that I've had my channel. It's almost 3 years since I posted my first video, and yeah, I'm just happy I finally got there. That was a bit random, sorry about that. I just didn't know what to talk about, so that just popped in my head. Was a bit of a random thought. Anyway, we are now working on the area for the grandparents. I wanted to kind of separate them from the rest of the family a little bit to give them their own separate space. So they have the kitchen together with the rest of the occupants of the house, but I gave them their own living room because I felt like, I mean, why not? They can sit here, relax on their own without anyone bothering them. Maybe you can watch their own TV in the evening because maybe the rest of the family don't want to watch the things they want to watch. So I kind of wanted to emphasize the need for their own privacy, which is why I made gave them a living room of their own. And here is when I started using the Nook bookcases here, and I created this kind of like a built-in unit in their room, and I really love how this one turned out. It's completely not my style, but I love this bed from Cats and Dogs. It's just so cute. It's really not a style of a bed that I would want for myself, but I just love the pattern on it. So it kind of inspired to color scheme in the rest of this room as well. They also got their own TV. They have two like rocking chairs, and I don't know, I really love the idea of this. I was always opposed to kind of co-living of families because I felt like they would drive each other crazy. If you live with your, I don't know, parents or kids, whatever, they would just get on each other's nerves pretty quickly, I feel like. But I think this is like a really nice way to separate like the generations from each other. So, you know, the grandparents have a space of their own, somewhere they can do whatever they want, they can watch whatever they want, and nobody needs to argue about, I don't know, the TV, for example. So I really loved the idea. So what I'm trying to say, kind of impacting my real life, I don't I think I can now imagine maybe living with my parents in the future if they maybe get like the space of their own, or maybe they, I don't know, my dad has been talking about building like a tiny house in the garden of our home that they could live in, and then like one of us, me or my brother, we could live in our house that we live in right now with our kids, and they would live in the tiny home. They want to travel a lot around the world when they retire, so they just want to kind of be close to their family. They will have someone to take care of their stuff, and I think that's actually a really good idea. So yeah, we will see where we end up in the future, me and my brother and my parents. Yeah. So now I'm working on the master bedroom, which is now done, and I am moving on to the two bedrooms. I did use different beds because I was going for different color schemes. So overall the rooms are pretty similar when it comes to the furniture, but I did use different beds because I needed a different color palette for each of the rooms. So this one is from Michaela. The one that I used in the other room is from high school years. It's the same type of and swatch of the bed that I used in the master bedroom for the parents. So here I was thinking that this sim that lives here is really into sports. That's kind of why I placed a poster with a basketball player, a poster with football, and a poster, not a poster, but like the wall decoration from Parenthood that it has like a skateboards on it. Yeah. So each room has a bed, has a dresser, has a seating space, has a bookcase, which I don't think it's accessible, but you have plenty of accessible bookcase space around the house. And I think I also placed some like skill building items here and there, but I'm not like 100% positive on that. I might have not. But I did place some clutter again to make it look a bit more realistic. So I have some games, a mug, a music stereo player that came with high school years, and I also just wanted to make it look a bit more personalized for each of the sims. So maybe this one is more into music because I placed the guitar one, but I don't think I placed an actual musical instrument in their room. So you might have to add that if you want them to be a musician. And I'm finishing the interior now, and we are going to head outside to finish this kind of like porch area. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to download this build, you can get it on the gallery. My ID is michaelasimsyt, or you can get the tray files in the description box below, as always, on my Ko-fi page if you prefer to get the tray files instead of getting the build on the gallery. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling, I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows. knows and where I'll go in life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day.